So something that's pretty common that'll happen to me as a mobile trainer, as an in-home trainer, is the client will call me out, like for the first time. I'll come over and they say, watch this behavior I hate that my dog does. And I'm just like, whoa. Like, wait a second. Let's not compel them to do it right off the rip. Like, let's see if we can figure out how to preempt the behavior before it happens. Let's see if we can give the dog information on what we'd like them to do instead. So rather than have them continue to rehearse the unwanted behavior. And nothing along these lines is more popular than the reaction they see from their dog when the doorbell rings. And they want me to come over, they want me to ring the doorbell, and they want me to see what the dog does. I know, like, generally speaking, I know what the dog does. It's a dog, and it's a doorbell. Like, it's a tale as old as time. So I'm never going to come over and ring your doorbell unless we've set up a controlled exposure. If we're working on it together, or if I'm setting up a controlled exposure, like by myself, if it's just me and the dog, while the guardian isn't there. But I'm just not going to just come over and ring the doorbell with no plan in place, just so they can bark. So that's going to take some systemic counter conditioning, and clicking and treating for sure, giving food reinforcers. Usually what I do is I time it to where, like a lot of the time I start with a sound effect on like YouTube for the doorbell, like a traditional doorbell or a Ring doorbell sound effect, and then I am aiming to click simultaneously as that noise is emitted, and I give the food reinforcer. Sometimes I have to hold the food reinforcer like directly up to the dog's face, so there's no time for them to bark. Then I start leaning out the door eventually, and I have my clicker in my treat hand, and I'm gonna ring and simultaneously click and give the food reinforcer. Then I start allowing a gap, and allowing the dog to like take a couple seconds to decide like what they're gonna do in response to the doorbell ringing. So anyway, that's just something that I have on my mind as I'm driving to pick up my kid. Thanks for watching.